Hi, I'm Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Dedicated to the only serious choice, the gospel of Jesus Christ in music and the spoken word. You're watching Light Source Victory Television live with me, your host, Pastor J. McCauley, inviting you to sit back and relax for the next 8 minutes as we continue our journey into the life-changing, life-giving, everlasting word of the Most High God. My friends, it's time for the most important 8 minutes of your day, Bible study. Now, of course, it is my Bible study time that I spend with you. We try and do it each and every day right here at AccessTV.org, Pinterest, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and other social media around the world. Of course, we're always at AccessTV.org, where we broadcast live from the greatest city on earth, Hartford, Connecticut, New England's rising star. So, if you miss any portion of the program, or you want to get caught up on the 8-minute Bible studies from the past, all you have to do is go to AccessTV.org, channel 10. Okay? And they're all there. All of the 8-minute Bible studies. All right, so grab your pencil, your paper, and all the things necessary in order to take the journey with me. We are reading out of Romans chapter 6. We're going to start off in verse 12 because that's where we were when we were last together, which of course was yesterday. And of course, I still have my 4 leaves out of my Dakes Bible. And so we're going to be reading from this until I get to the middle of chapter 8, because the other day when we were studying the Bible, the pages just fell out. It just fell out. All right. I have a backup Dakes Bible, but I keep it in the car because you never know when you'll need a life-changing, life-giving, everlasting word of the Most High God. Let's get started. Let not sin, therefore, reign in your mortal bodies, or in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lusts thereof. Verse 12, one more time. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body. That's this mortal, ouch. That's this mortal body. Okay, this flesh, it's mortal. It will perish. All right, let not sin reign in it, that you should obey it. And the lusts, the desires associated with fulfilling the wants of sin in the flesh. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God. In that ye have been risen with Christ, you have power and authority. And that power and authority gives you the dunamis to be able to subjugate sin. Right? You can make sin subordinate to your desire or will to please God. Okay? The Bible talks about the fruit of the Spirit. We're coming back from the restaurant earlier to this evening, my wife and I, and we were talking about, we were listening to the radio, and they were talking about, transgender bigotry, and I think Brazil or someplace like that. And, you listen to some of the things that are in the news today, and it becomes abundantly clear that the odd thing in the world is a desire to do righteousness. A desire to do the will of God is what is odd. It is not odd that the world seeks to normalize behavior that the Bible says is outside of the will of God. Now, this is not a critique or a dig at anyone who has a preference that is outside of the will of God. But it does speak to the fact that most people want to do something that's outside the will of God. And the Bible speaks to that. You who also had pleasure in the sins of the world, right? That's us. We all did things that were according to the flesh. There are none that are righteous, no, not one. The odd thing is to want to do the will of God. The odd thing is to desire to put the desires of the flesh, the desires of the flesh second, and the will of God first. So instead of having adulterous affairs, you decide not to. Instead of lying, you decide to tell the truth. Instead of stealing, you give. Instead of relationships that are, outside of the, normalized biblical type relationships where you have sexual preferences, you decide to abstain. Okay? Now, your desire to want to do God's will, to preach the gospel, that's what's odd. Okay? Not that there's sin in the world. You hear a lot of Christians sometimes saying, well, the world is going to hell in a handbasket. People are just, no. The world has always been on its way to hell. Jesus came to rescue us from that destination. That means you're going to have to abandon the desires of the flesh and come to Him and live a life that is not so pleasing to the appetites of the flesh. But it is what it is. Either you want to live for Christ, you want to live for self in the world. So let not sin, therefore, reign in your mortal bodies, that ye should obey it and the lusts thereof. Neither yield your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of God instruments of righteousness as unto God. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? God forbid. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, His servants ye are? To whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death, or of obedience unto righteousness. Who do you obey? Who you obey, who you subordinate yourself to, it is He who is your master. And you cannot serve two masters. That's the word for today, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow and do it all once again. It's the 8-minute Bible study, my Bible study time that I spend with you. And we will be back tomorrow. God bless you all. Keep you strong in the faith. We will see you then. Bye-bye.